Hello, hello, hello. Sir David the Bard. I'm coming to you from the Greyhound bus station here in Kangaroo City. I didn't get on this bus. When you get a bus driver that is help to the bus because he can't stand up drunk, I'm not going to ride on that bus. I'm going to take a little responsibility for myself. And anyway, I got a pet peeve again. Okay, I guess this is my pet peeve day. It's April 1st, April Fool's Day, and I'm the biggest fool of all. I have a problem for years. I love to drive. I used to be a bus driver and carried BYU students up to the ski resorts almost every day that I was in college. And before the Provo Temple was built, I used to drive the BYU Mormons down to the Manti Temple. So anyway, I've always loved to drive. Ever since I was 15 and a half, I used to ride the bus to my dad's work so that I could drive the car home. That's how fanatical. And I'm into cars. I enjoy cars. I've had, Cadillacs. I've had a couple of Corvettes, a couple of Z28s, and I've got now my RAV4, which is bitching off the road. I'll tell you, if I had to do it over again, I would do more off-road driving. That is fun. Damn, that little RAV4, it's a rugged little machine off-road. I drove through ponds and, the mud and the blood and the beer with it. And now my daughter's got the brand new 2015 Dodge Dart, the fast one, and she just loves it. It's a white car, and she's got the black hair and black eyes, and she looks hot in it. And then, of course, I have my favorite car, which is my limited Hyundai Sonata, and it's a triple black, and it's got the sunroof and the heated seats and the fart remover. It's got everything on it, and I love that car. Anyway, I love to drive, and I love to go places and do things. I enjoy driving to national parks. I've driven all across the United States. I've been in the southern states, Florida, Alabama, Miami, up to the Duke University area, up through there, Maryland, and the Mormon Temple. I went to the Mormon Temple. I got married in the Mormon Temple in Washington, D.C., and Manti, and Salt Lake. It was a tour of the temples. I just took different wives in. And I love the Northeast. Oh my gosh, talk about New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts, and upstate New York, and across Pennsylvania, and even Ohio, Nebraska, some of those more desolate states. I love to go places and see things. And I've been a lot of places. I went to where they have the four men in the mountain. What is that, Mount Rushmore? I think they call it Mount Rushmore. And Disney World, and so anyway, I've had a very good and full life. So I get around my wives. Now this is not just one wife, okay? I've been married 6 times. Yeah, there's some experience differences between each wife, but there's some commonalities too. Now here's what pisses me off. Yesterday, Mercy and I had a couple of days off together. Usually her days off are not together. And she's been talking about going to Canada. She wants to go to Canada. Now, I've been in Canada, across the falls there from Niagara. It's beautiful. Quebec is beautiful. But the rest of the country is pretty much a tree. If you've seen a tree, you've seen a lot of Canada. It's a beautiful country. It's very clean. It's got good people. It's a peaceful country, neutral country. And so yesterday I was driving, and you know the Bard. I have what we call a runaway bag. In our family, we all have a runaway bag. And so that when we're mad, we just pick the bag up and run out the door when we're mad. We've learned that if you have to pack a runaway bag, usually you're not angry anymore. So you don't run out the door. You're taking a half an hour to get the toothpaste and some underwear and socks, and you're doing all that, and pretty soon you're not angry. So we've learned to have an angry bag for everybody. So I have them in my car. I don't even have to pick them up and take them out of the house. I just go get in the car because it has everything in it that I can get by for 3 or 4 days. So we're driving, and she says, well, where do you want to go? And I said, I don't know. You want to just go up through Idaho and see Boise, or going up further north? So, okay. Well, while we're driving, I'm thinking, hell, we'll just go to Canada. Now we can just cross the border and stay overnight. I didn't know then that you have to have passports now to go to Canada. I didn't know that. In the old days, you just had a driver's license or a $5 bill. You go right across the border. So anyway, I'm driving to Canada, and I look over, sound asleep. I'm looking out, and I'm, looking at the cows and looking at the trees and the little rivers and the topography of where we're going, and looking at the houses and the way people live and the ranches. I cannot tell you how many thousands of miles I've driven with sleeping people, mostly wives, in the seat next to me. Well, I want to see the nation. Okay. I'm driving through Indiana, Nebraska, Ohio, Florida, Georgia. Now at first, and this is a compliment, when you're a bus driver and everyone sleeps on the bus, you're a damn good driver. Usually when I get on a bus and I drive it, the people are asleep within 15, 20 minutes. They've already decided they're safe, they've already decided they're going to relax, and they go to sleep. That's the greatest compliment a bus driver gets. Now driving a car with a family in it, mostly a wife, and they sleep, pisses me off. That's just me. I'm doing the driving. God, I'm almost 70 years old. I'm doing the 7, 8, 9, 11-hour shifts. So when I'm not a real, I'm a talker, I guess, but when I drive, I love to just meditate a little bit. And being bipolar is a fun thing, driving, because the topography and scenes change so quickly, my mind can relax. I can see everything that's going on, and I relax. When I'm sitting here like this and nothing is moving, I get highly stressed because half of my mind, or more than half, is doing nothing. So anyway, yesterday, finally, she wakes up and I say, good morning, I've just driven 300 miles. And, where are we? And I said, well, why don't you tell me? Get that Rand McNally map out of the back there, and we got a GPS here. Tell me where we are. Well, I don't know how to do that. I says, well, hell, if you were up here by yourself, you'd be lost, wouldn't you? Well, yes. Now, see, this pisses me off about human beings. Most of them want something for nothing. They want to see Canada, but they don't want to drive there. And they can't enjoy it. I'm spending, $3 a gallon of gas and 80 miles an hour and putting miles on my car, wearing my tires out. And then the other thing is they got the damn cell phone like this. Now, I figured out how to do this, guys. I think it's guys. We need to fix this, okay? One day, I told her we were going to Alta. It's a ski resort in Utah. And go up and see the snow and the skiers and the beautiful terrain. Well, we're starting to go to Alta. She goes to sleep. I turned around and I drove back home. I didn't go to Alta. And when I got home, she says, well, where are we? I said, well, we're back. We were up at Alta, but we're back. Oh, was I asleep? Well, yeah, you missed Alta. Saved me a half a tank of gas. So now I've learned that if you just put your car up on blocks and you hand your wife a cell phone and then you start the engine, and the kids shake the car from the outside. She'll watch us all go to sleep, come up with all. Where we went to New York, honey, and we're back now. I know you were really tired because you were working. It was your day off. Oh, I miss New York. Yeah, you miss New York. You sit there in the driveway. You didn't have to spend money to go anywhere. Well, I'm tired of spending money to show people the country, and they don't want to see the country. They want to look into a cell phone, and hey, they can do that at home in the driveway. So anyway, I think it's a man thing. I don't like people sleeping when we've gone for a ride. Back in the old days, before there was hardly anything to do in the 50s and 60s, one of the biggest things for Americans was to go for a ride. Because we didn't have cars that really would go very far, and if you could go, in the evening for a half an hour, 45 minutes, go for a ride. Everybody was looking out the windows and waving, hi tree, hi pond, hi. No one had a cell phone in their face, and no one was asleep. The seats didn't recline. So anyway, I told them, I said, you know what, I'll drive you guys to New York this year, if you want. But before I go, you're all going to have to learn to read a map. Bard ain't nobody's fool, no more. Homie don't roll that way. I am not I was going to say Negro driver, but I would not use that word, to take these people across the United States and back. I've been there, done that, I've seen it, I've heard it. Why would I want to drive, 6,000 miles? Well, from Australia here, it's like 12,000 miles, and driving on the water is a bitch. That can be cold and up and down kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm not going to give people any more scenic rides. I'm done with the scenic ride route. BART is now out of business. And so if they want to pay, lay, and ail me, and oh God, hear the words of my mouth in the true order of prayer, it's not going to influence me. If they try to cut my throat, if they try to cut my heart out, or they try to cut my gut open, I go, well, maybe I'll drive you a little bit. And then if they start all screaming, health and enable, marrow and the bones, strength and loins and sinews, power to priesthood be upon me and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity, I go, oh hell, I rolled over and played dead for the Mormon Church for over 50 years. I'll go ahead and drive you to New York. This bar's gone.